TBV Investigations, case number 405583. Witness Daniel Webster submitted the following case to the Black Vault TBV Investigations on September 9th, 2018 at 3:08 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. John Greenwald assigned the case to me, Jim Kerr, an investigator for TBV Investigations. Witness Webster's sighting took place in Porter, Texas on August 23, 2018 at 9 p.m. Before we get into the visual evidence, I will read the witness's testimony. After reading it, I will explain some of the terms that the witness is referring to. Quote, "As usual, I was photographing the classified Cabal planes. I have been very hard and asking the aliens telepathically if they existed to show themselves. As I was photographing one of their menacing green planes, this thing decided it wanted to be the main attraction. It winked on out of nowhere, as the video shows, and just as quickly it winked out. I have photographed many strange things. This is the only one that I am absolutely sure is alien. No doubt, and when I expand it, I am sure some kind of humanoids in it. But I would like others to verify that, but I'm sure that I see them. I'm going to send the pictures and the video so you can expand pictures, see if you see humanoids. This is one of the only sightings to affect me emotionally." Close quote. The witness stated in essence he was photographing classified Cabal planes and asking the aliens to reveal themselves. He then videoed what he described as their menacing green plane, and the aliens decided to show themselves appearing out of nowhere, then immediately vanishing. Let me explain what the witness is referring to when he states Cabal planes, menacing green planes, and his belief they are alien. Back in 2011, I investigated this subject and very familiar with these beliefs. There is a small sect of people who firmly believe aliens are piloting flying saucers disguised as jet aircrafts and are spraying toxic chemicals, aka chemtrails, in the Earth's atmosphere. They believe these so-called chemjets, Cabal planes, are holograms projected by alien flying saucers to conceal their diabolical plan to terraform the planet to sustain alien life. If one searches YouTube or an internet search, there are thousands of examples of this cult-like belief system. Here is the witness video labeled number 2 under visual evidence in the body of the report. This is the footage where the witness describes the Cabal plane, menacing green plane, and his belief that they are aliens. He also describes how the alien winked in and immediately winked out. Analyzing this footage, one can clearly see on the left side of the screen a light source, which is not natural. I believe the witness was either using a red laser pointer or a flashlight, some type of lighting device, and he was waving it up and down in a vertical motion in front of the camera lens. As a result, lens flares appeared. It's also important to note, at night, with a camcorder or a recording device, the camera on automatic settings will have a slow shutter speed, and that would account for the squiggly red lines, the squiggly lens flares that we see in this footage. If you watch carefully, you can see some sort of light force, handheld light force, going up and down motion, creating these lens flares. The camera was obviously mounted on a tripod or sitting on a table or stable surface. This footage was intentionally hoaxed. It's evident in the footage. Coming up, I'll slow down the footage and point out these hoaxes that were perpetrated in this footage. Additionally, if you watch this video in full screen on your computer, just above the trees in the center of the screen, you could see the jet aircraft transversing the sky from right to left. You could also see the flashing lights of the jet's marker lights. This was the jet that the witness was photographing, claiming that it was an alien craft. Here's the footage at a slower speed. The video is also looped. It's also important to note that the download for this video was corrupted, so I had to play the video on my computer screen and use a video screen capture to be able to download the footage into the Sony Vegas editing software. But you could clearly see in this footage, if you look to the left, the lower left, and go up on a 45-degree angle as this lens flare, squiggly lens flare, is dancing around on the screen, you could see a remote light source. You could actually see the beam of that light source going in a vertical motion up and down. This was a very easy hoax to pull off, by setting the camera up stationary, pointed at the sky, and using a handheld light source and waving it in front of the camera lens, especially with the nighttime settings of the camera with a slow shutter speed, is what caused the squiggly red lines that we see dancing around in this footage. It is clearly a hoax, and we'll get into more about this hoax later on in this video. Additionally, when the video stops and you just see the still image, you could see several lens flares at the right bottom of the screen. These lens flares were also caused by the handheld lighting device that was waved in a vertical motion in front of the camera lens. But again, this is clearly a hoax, and it's a shame that hoaxes like this are submitted. But later we'll talk about that as well. Next, we have a single still image taken by the witness. This image is labeled Visual Evidence Number 1 in the body of the report. This photo depicts an overexposed moon in the upper left-hand corner. Searching the archives of Stellarium, a planetary software that shows exactly what you see looking up at the stars, I was able to view exactly what celestial objects were in the witness's night sky on August 23, 2018 at 9 p.m. The moon phase was a waxing gibbous illuminated at 93%. The image of this overexposed moon matches perfectly with a 93% illuminated waxing gibbous moon. The object in the lower right hand corner are lens flares. Anytime you photograph the moon, the sun, any bright object, your camera is susceptible to capturing lens flares, and that's exactly what we see here in this photo. It's a very common error made by amateur photographers, taking photos of the moon, the sun, And it also depends on the focal length of your lens. You know, some lenses are more susceptible to lens flares, but in general, all lenses, you know, when shooting the moon or the sun, you're going to capture lens flares. That's all that's in this photo. Here's a 3-second video clip that is labeled number 3 under visual evidence in the body of the report. As an amateur astronomer, photographer, and videographer, I've spent many years observing celestial objects in the night sky. I have intentionally observed and filmed stars that are out of focus. That is exactly what we are viewing here in this footage. While I can't tell you the name of this star, it is 100% definitely a star. What's happening here is the witness is focusing on the star with his video camera and rotating his camera in a small circle in a clockwise direction. And that is bringing the star in and out of focus as he rotates the camera in a circular motion. In my professional opinion, this is more evidence of the witness perpetrating a hoax, having us believe that this is some sort of alien craft or flying saucer. Here we have a single photograph that is labeled number 4 under the visual evidence in the body of the report. By the witness's own admission, this is a jet aircraft, and that's exactly what we see here in this photo. Although he refers to it as a cabal plane, the menacing green plane, masquerading, aliens masquerading as a jet aircraft, that's all we have here is a jet aircraft. Last but not least, we have a 3-second video clip that is labeled number 5 under visual evidence in the body of the report. By the witness's own admission, this is a jet aircraft. Again, he refers to it as the cabal plane or the menacing green plane. But it is video footage of a jet aircraft in flight. The camera's a little shaky, but you could clearly see the trees, surrounding this aircraft, that he's filming through, and that the shakiness of the camera is what's causing the object to move around a little bit. But again, there's really nothing to see here. It's a normal jet. Based on my years of experience filming the sky as an amateur astronomer, photographer, videographer, along with my knowledge of cameras, I can recognize deceptive manipulation in visual evidence submitted by a witness. In this case, there was no CGI, so this was relatively a simple case, time-consuming, but a simple case to solve. There was no need for this witness to answer any of my questions. I submitted questions to him numerous times, and he never got back to me. Answering questions would only be additional evidence of a hoax. I believe the witness intentionally submitted this hoax for reasons known only to him. I don't even believe the witness believes his implications that these jet aircraft are alien flying saucers in disguise. While I find fake UFO reports frustrating, I'm actually glad Daniel Webster submitted this hoax to TBV investigations. There is a valuable benefit to these fake UFO reports. Investigations like this can be a benefit to other investigators and valuable archival reference data for future investigations. This case file is labeled an intentional hoax. Camera manipulation using an artificial light source, flashlight or laser pointer, at night with slow camera shutter speed to create squiggly lens flares in video footage. Overexposed moon photo with lens flares, intentional camera manipulation, rendering an out-of-focus star to fake a UFO, and to top it off, an implied tall tale of alien flying saucers disguising themselves as jet aircraft, spraying toxic chemicals in our atmosphere to terraform the planet and take over the Earth. Now, where I come from, that's what I call a whopper. Thank you for watching this video. It ran longer than I thought. Thank you for visiting the Black Vault and reading this report.